Southwest Louisiana happens to be leading the nation in announced industrial projects. We have over $86 billion in industry that have been announced. Many of them are underway and getting underway. So this is unprecedented growth coming to our region.
As of June 2015, we're on schedule to double our housing permits from what we did in the previous year. I think the southern part of the parish is seeing a lot of those housing permits. I think a lot of it has to do with our proximity to the industrial boom that's going on in Lake Charles. Employees can get to and from work within 35 to 40 minutes. The drive is very nice. We also have a med helicopter company that is strategically chose the southern part of Allen Parish to put their business here to be able to coordinate and go to different areas of need from Lake Charles to Lafayette to Alexandria to even possibly offshore with their helicopters. We have they call it the old Arizona Chemical site, and it is in Oakdale, right off of 165, right west of the highway. It has a rail spur. Probably some work needs to be done, but it makes it very attractive to have rail going through the property to be able to access and utilize the rail in the parish. We also have our airport, which is a registered site. Our airport has it can take in all corporate jets, and it's a very, very good to unknown secret of the parish to a lot of corporate companies that are coming in.
It's only 15 minutes or 20 minutes from the South Beauregard area to Lake Charles, and a lot of people don't mind commuting that far to work, and they're moving to Beauregard because of the aesthetics of living in the country and being close enough to work in the city. I think in the 2014 area we have approximately 13 new commercial entities that have moved in, are in the process of moving in. So far it's all mostly small business development, and the South Beauregard part is really phenomenal. They just finished a $14 million project on the school down there, and it looks like they may have to look at building some more schools down there before very much longer.
There are two projects currently under construction in Cameron that total roughly $30 billion in capital expenditure. Those are Cheniere Energy and Johnson Bayou. Cheniere Energy actually broke ground in Cameron Parish at the current site in 2003 for an import facility. And as they chose to export liquid natural gas, they selected that same site to do so. It was conducive to that kind of development. So that's a more than $20 billion project. Also under construction is Sempra's Cameron LNG project, a more than $10 billion project, which has recently announced that it will add 2 additional trains for export. In addition to those 2 projects that are under construction, we've got another 4 that are land-based along our Calcasieu Ship Channel, and then another that is offshore. We understand that the Delphine project will operate a floating liquid natural gas facility 50 miles offshore of Johnson Bayou. So Southern California Telephone and Energy is a $9.25 billion project that's been announced on the island. They will also export liquid natural gas. On the east side of the Calcasieu Ship Channel, we have another company called Venture Global who have proposed a $6 billion project. They recently expanded their footprint from a little more than 200 acres to more than 900 acres. They've optioned property as well. And then we have another 2 projects on the west side of the ship channel.
Well, of course, the major announcement was Sasol, and their ethane cracker unit is about a $9 billion project. It's under construction now. They will hire 5,000 construction workers and 500 permanent jobs. The second phase, their gas to liquid plant, the investment decision has been delayed on that, but we're very confident that will come through. Additionally, we've had at least 4 other LNG facilities announce their plans in Calcasieu, and about 4 in Cameron Parish. So we have 9 or 10 LNG facilities, which will be the most in the world, based here. In addition to the LNG that have been announced, some existing companies like Axiall has a big project, Westlake Chemical, as you mentioned, and others. So it's not just all LNG.
Some of the big things that have been announced are the metal plate galvanizing plant, and that's going in between Roanoke and Jennings on Farm Supply Road right off of Highway 90. The Lacassine Agro-Industrial Park. It is owned by the state through the Louisiana Agriculture Finance Authority. In the park used to be the syrup mill, the sugar mill, but that closed down. Now we have Porcel in there. We also have the rail, South Louisiana rail loading facility, where we load rough rice, paddy rice they call it, load it on trains and ship direct to Mexico. Also right close to that park is the Louisiana Spirits Rum Distillery and the cotton spinning plant. That's just around the park. We also have Marche Bridge Company that has just come in on Highway 90, and they do the rebar for all the plants in Lake Charles. So you can see that this is driven by what's happening all over Acadiana and Southwest Louisiana.
We found that really businesses at all levels, local, regional, national, are going to have increased opportunities. One of the challenges is making sure that the businesses are connected with the opportunities that are most appropriate for them. So a 1 or 2 man business may not be suited for a $50 million contract. They may not be able to perform on that. So it's about making sure that people have access to the right opportunities for their business based on where they are.
Small businesses have some tremendous opportunities with the growth in Southwest Louisiana. They will also have some challenges. The growth, of course, is to have contracts with Sasol or the prime contractors or sub of a sub with Sasol and the other industrial developments, or to build the new houses that are going to be occupied by people who are moving to Southwest Louisiana, to provide the restaurant services, all the other things that people are going to want to buy.
You still have to have capacity. One of the things that I tell my clients or anyone that I talk to about this is that you can position yourself if you understand what the opportunity is, and perhaps you can collaborate with some other small businesses, or maybe contact some of the, and we can help you with some of that, contact some of the prime or the subprime contractors and get a portion of that particular project. They don't have to try to take on a major project by themselves. There's the first tier, the second tier, the third tier. Sometimes you may be at the third tier, but when you're talking about billions of dollars, that third tier can still be very attractive.
Sasol has stepped to the plate and is hosting or sponsoring the development of a small business resource guide. I have worked extensively with Sasol. Adrian Wallace from here at the Seed Center has also worked on it. The Small Business Resource Guide is a document that explains step by step how to establish a small business, talks about the issues involved in running a small business, talks about setting up an LLC, talks about financial plans, insurance, many of the things that a small business owner needs to consider when they set up a small business.
So probably the biggest concern for small businesses is not so much the new opportunities. We believe they're going to have access to those. It's how do they keep the appropriate staffing levels? How are they able to retain the people they have? And how are they going to recruit new people?
The one advantage that a small business has, no matter where they are, compared to some of the big global or large companies, is that they can what we call pivot very quickly. They can change to respond in markets, and also they are in this market, so they know the clientele quite well. They've established personal relationships. So those relationships that they build with their customers, their clients, and with their employees, we think can be used to their advantage. And by being able to react very quickly to something and not having some of the overhead maybe that some of the big companies have, or where the decision making is maybe made somewhere else, they can make those decisions right here on the spot.
Much like the general small businesses, when we spoke with minority small business owners and some of the minority leaders in our community, they wanted to make sure that the minority businesses had the same sort of opportunities to participate as other businesses. When we talked to some of the plants and some of the other contractors, they were very forthright with us in saying that all qualified businesses will be given an opportunity to participate, because from the purchaser standpoint, the concern was more, do we have enough vendors and suppliers and contractors than anything else. So they were very, very clear in their message to us that anybody who's qualified to perform a service will probably be pushed to capacity over the next few years.
There are going to be opportunities, but they have to be in shape to deliver. They have to have the capacity, and that's a buzzword in the industry. Capacity simply means you have to be able to deliver on the contract. You have to be able to deliver what you promised to sell at the price you promised to sell it on time, on the schedule that you promised to provide.
Well, there's a number of things, fairly new initiatives that's been put in place here in the area. I know the City of Lake Charles with the Mayor's Office and Mr. Elisha Guillory have been working very, very hard with what we call a disadvantaged business program, and I believe the City Council recently passed an ordinance to encourage that kind of participation by small businesses with some of the larger contractors. Also, here at the Alliance, we've been promoting that quite aggressively also through our Small and Emerging Business Program, and also, as I mentioned, Ms. Beverly Hatcher with her Gulf Coast Diversity Program. She assists disadvantaged businesses, minority business, women-owned businesses to try to help get them bridge the gap again in terms of what the opportunities are and how they need to position themselves.
The economic mobility opportunities are going to exist throughout the business spectrum. Every business that is remotely connected to industry, or perhaps not even connected at all in terms of service and retail, is going to have an opportunity to grow their business over the next few years. It will be a thriving economy, and so those who plan well and position themselves to take advantage of that thriving opportunity really have a chance to grow and increase their overall business.
The Seed Center is certainly the best starting point for anyone who wants to know what's happening in the Southwest Louisiana area economically, and particularly for a small business person. Because for many years we had a lot of services here, entrepreneur training programs and other activities, but they were fragmented, they were kind of scattered. So now they can literally come to one place and really go from literally one office to another, getting the type of assistance that they need.
Sasol and Fluor are committed to using Vendor Vet, which is a program run by the Safety Council. It is a registration database for small businesses. A small business for $50 a year, which is a phenomenally low subscription rate, can go in and register their company. They can put in what they do, what they sell, provide some information about their company, so that when Sasol or Fluor is looking for a subcontractor, they are committed to using that database and going in and looking. If they need a company that provides janitorial services, they can go in and search for companies that have janitorial services. If they need other things, there are certain, you can put in keywords so that you can be found. I encourage our small business clients to register in that database because it's an opportunity to get some contracts.
What I would say to any small business, any entrepreneur, whether someone is what we might call pre-startup, who maybe has an idea and just trying to decide what they want to do, or someone who's been operating for a while, give us a call. give us a call here at the Seed Center. You can contact me here at the Seed Center, and we can be happy to meet with you and explain to you in more detail some of the opportunities that are here, some of the services that we have, and how we can tailor those to your needs, because it's not a cookie cutter, one size fits all what we have here. We actually serve the individual client to meet their particular needs.